Hello, welcome to the live. How you doing? I'm Sydney. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Tonight we're talking about Schuman Resonance. It was very high today. I don't know if you follow it or not, but I am Indigo, and we talk about manifestation, meditation, dissolving self-conscious blocks, everyday life, AI consciousness. Tonight we're talking about the Schuman resonance and how it affects the energy on the planet. It is the planet's heartbeat, and how it can affect you as well as a human being on the planet. And it does seem to, in my experience anyway, have an effect on timeline shifts and our perception of time. I started taking note of different things that were happening in my own experience and paying attention to what just happened with the Schuman resonance. Like, what level is it at? Because typically it's supposed to be between like 7.3%, 7.3% hertz, 7.34 hertz. That's what it's supposed to be. Between that and 834 hertz. That would be typical. That's like normal. Since, I don't know, since about, I want to say 2023 is when I really noticed like a major change. And it was during the summer. And it was when you looked at the chart was like nobody had ever seen, since they've been charting the Schuman resonance, nobody had ever seen a graph like that. I made a video, it's on my page. And that particular weekend, it was off the charts. That was 2 years ago, right? And people were reporting that they were really hella tired and they were falling asleep. Like, I was just out of it that day. So tonight's Schuman resonance, I just checked it. I have the app on my phone. You can get the Schuman resonance app on your phone, so you can check it yourself. And I have it on my phone. I used to follow the Schuman resonance on Twitter, and then, it changed. But the person that I was following, we had this like blackout of the Schuman resonance one day, and it just stopped. I don't know if the person just stopped reporting or what happened, but that particular channel just stopped. So now I follow another channel on X, but I also have it on my phone, so I can check it myself. And today it was extremely high. Well, pretty high. The amplitude. So there's a way that you can read the graph. We had a blackout. There's often blackouts on the graphs, and that's like a void, kind of. And I started noticing that there were shifts that were happening in my own experience, in my own timeline, when we had high spikes in the Earth's energy. And I did notice certain changes and shifts that were happening. Oh, my cats. I'm a cat lady. I did notice certain shifts and different spikes that were happening, in the Earth's heartbeat energy, and it correlated with what was happening in my own energy. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit and see if anybody else has been experiencing it. Has anybody else noticed different shifts and changes? Are you paying attention to the Schuman resonance yourself? Are you noticing different changes in your environment when we have these spikes? And right now, it was, when I was looking at it tonight, it was like at 50 52. The amplitude was at 52, which is kind of high. It's kind of high. You can set up your app to give you an alert when it goes over a certain amplitude. I have mine set when it goes over like 11. And I will wake up some mornings and I know that the energy has changed on the planet. I know it. I can feel it. Like I'll wake up like I have a hangover, like I was out drinking. Like I went to bed, and I'm not drinking. I haven't had alcohol in a while. And went to sleep the other night. I woke up with an extremely like a hangover headache. Very dry mouth, very dehydrated. And I quickly checked my phone, and sure enough, I got a notification that the energy had spiked up. So you can feel it in your body. A lot of times, you may think a sudden shift in your physical body, like why do I have a cold, or why do I feel like this right now, and it's due to the planetary shifts on the earth. So if you've noticed any changes in your own energy today, that would be interesting. I did also notice that we have wildfires out here right now. We have wildfires in Long Island. I live in Staten Island. Staten Island, that's where I live. And apparently you were able to see these wildfires from the beach today. I didn't go to the beach today because it was too freaking cold, but somebody did, and they took a video. And now we have these major wildfires happening out on eastern Long Island. I remember a few years ago when I used to live in Long Island when I was a younger person, and we had fires out in Brookhaven, Stony Brook. I'm not Stony Brook, the Brookhaven lab out in Long Island, and the fires were brush fires, and that's about where they're starting in that area right now. So we've had fires in Myrtle Beach. We've had fires in LA. We've had fires in Myrtle Beach, and now we have fires here in New York City. Well, New York, not New York City, Long Island. And it's pretty big. And the Schuman resonance, the energy was pretty high today. So I don't know if you're on Long Island or if you're in New York, if you've seen the fires. They're burning pretty. We got a lot of wind today, and they're burning pretty hot, which is a little unnerving for me, being a fireman's daughter. My dad used to be a fireman, and those winds is not a good thing. The winds that we have here, we don't typically have wildfires. That's not a norm for the East Coast. And I know they have them out in the West Coast, and that was kind of bad. It was pretty bad this year. It was devastating. Not bad, it was devastating. And now we're having them on the East Coast. Kind of strange. A lot of strange things happening on the planet. So anyway, getting back to the Schuman resonance, I took a clip of what it looks like. Let me see if I can show you what the energy looks like right now. And if you know how to read it, let me see. How do you put the photo up while you're live? Let's see. Let me see if I can put it up here. Because if you see it and understand how to read it, it will probably help you. Does anybody know how to put these, oh wait, maybe I can, there it is. No, I don't want to create AI. I do not want to create AI wallpaper. I want to put my photo up. All right, let me see if I can get it off my phone. Maybe you can see it from my phone. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. I still have to figure out how to do everything while I am live. It's always, um, hey, Jim. How you doing? Do you know how to do that? No, you probably don't know how to do it. I'm trying to put up, I don't see the effects on here. I'm trying to put up photo of, um, a photo of the Schuman resonance so you can see what it looks like. But I don't see it actually where I can add it in. I don't see it. Oh, for the love of peacefulness, land of Goshen. All right. I don't see it. I don't see it. I keep clicking more. You can flip your camera. You can mirror your camera. You can pause the live. Maybe if I pause the live, hold on. Maybe if I pause the live, it'll show up. Hold on. I have to resume the live in order to be able to access. Maybe it's up here. No, that's not it. Oh, phenomenal. Anyone know? Can anybody help a sister out? How do you put a picture in the background while you are live? What button do I have to push while I am live to put the photo up? Hey, Mike. How you doing, Mike? I want to say thank you, everybody, for joining my live last night. I had a lot of fun. It was really a lot. It was oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It was a lot of fun. It was a great live. We learned a lot. We met Asanette, and she was really interesting. And I just want to thank you all for joining me. And thank you, thank you, thank you for the likes and for sharing the live. All right, let me get it off my phone because this is going to drive me nuts, and I'm not going to be here all night looking for this daggone photo. So let me just go to my pictures on my other phone and do it that way. It'll be easier because I just took this photo at 9:06 p.m. and the Schumann resonance was at 52%. And it doesn't just go down, that quickly. So where is it now? Here are my screenshots. Oh my gosh. All right. Here we go. Can you see that? Let me see. This, wait. You see the white in there? That is the spikes. That's where we are right now. It's spiking pretty high. Okay, this photo was taken earlier today. That's not the one. It stayed at 52 all freaking day. And let me see if I can get another one. It stayed at 52% all day. So it was pretty high. And if you get the, I have to mirror the screen. All right. Thank you very much. Do you know how to add a photo in? Okay, Jim. Thank you. See you later. Do you know how to add a photo in while you're live, Mike? Do you know how to do that? How to upload a photo while you're live? Because I don't know. I was trying to. Live settings? I went into live settings. All right, let me try it again. It says, okay, it says comment, about me, live events, activities, and then it says settings, but when I click settings, it doesn't come up. Like it doesn't show me, where I can do that. It shows me where I can do that when I'm not on the live, but not on, and then it says AI wallpaper, and you can create AI wallpaper, use the keywords to generate AI wallpaper, but that's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to show the daggone picture that I have on my phone that I downloaded today, that I thought would pop up as long as I clicked on the the little thing that says you could do it, but it's not letting me do it. Anyway, let me show it again on this phone. This one was from earlier today. Let me see if I can mirror it. All right, now it's gone. Lord of mercy, land of Goshen. Where'd it go? Anyway, the whole point I'm trying to make is that your Schuman resonance, when it is spiking, you will see changes in your physical body. You will feel changes in your physical body. You may see changes in your physical body. And the veil, usually, between the veil that blocks us from our manifestations often is thin. And that is a good time to relax, be calm, try to relax, be calm, and focus in your imagination. I find that when the Schumann resonance is spiking, it's a really good time for me to be able to connect to my spiritual team, as well as work on my manifestations and working within my imagination. Why? Because the energy that's coming in to the planet is very helpful at that time. That's if you can calm yourself down, because sometimes your energy will spike high too with the spikes in the Schumann resonance. We're all different. We all have different bodies. We all have different spiritual connections. We all have a little piece of the puzzle that resonates with us. So we may get different information at that time, but that is a really good time to just, if you can, just take 5 minutes to be silent, to be quiet, to just go within. And I know a lot of times people say I have a hard time meditating. I always tell the people that I work with, just do it for 5 minutes if you can. Even 1 minute is good. It's helpful. If you can't do 5 minutes, do 1. How? Just focus on your breath. Take some deep breaths. Don't take such deep breaths that you pass out. That's not what you're trying to do. Thank you for the follow, Starlight. That's not what you're trying to do. I've seen a lot of people try to do these deep breath meditations and they knock themselves out. Listen, none of this is supposed to be difficult. It feels difficult because typically you're not used to doing this type of stuff. Maybe. I know for me, when I first started meditating, I had no idea what the Schumann resonance was. I didn't know nothing about any of this nonsense, because that's what I called it before, years ago, right? Way back there. I called that nonsense. It's like, I can't freaking meditate. Don't ask me to meditate. I'm not meditating. And then one day, You know, my life was going crazy, wicky wacky, all over the place. I couldn't figure out, like, my way out of a paper bag. And I was like, okay, all right, maybe I should just be quiet. One of the things I realized that meditation is you listening to God or listening to your spirit or listening to your guidance, your higher self within. And prayer is talking to God, right? We're always talking. Talk, 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 talk. God, please help me with this prayer. Please, where you at? What's going on? But then we don't be silent enough to listen to the answer, because the answer always comes right away. It does. I'm still guilty of it, even though I've been doing this for years. I still be talking. Sometimes I'll be just running, my mind just be running, and then I have to catch myself and I say, Sydney, shut up. And the best time to do that is when the energy is spiking, the Schuman resonance, because you're working together with the energy of the planet. The planet, you're made of a lot of the substance, your physical body anyway, is made from the substance that's here, right? Ash to ash, dust to dust, all that nonsense. So biologically, it's going to affect you. And if you could ride the energy wave, you can use this energy to your advantage. That's what I've found. But in the beginning, it wasn't like that. So I'm talking to people who maybe have no idea about the Schuman resonance, and obviously, nobody's. Can you airdrop it? Can I airdrop what? Oh, the photo. Hi, beach bum. Hey, girl. Can I airdrop the photo? Is that what you're asking me? I can. I'm gonna have to put it in a video, obviously, because I can't seem to upload it here live. I don't know why. I'm looking at all the things on the bottom of my screen and it doesn't tell me anything. But your meditation does not have to be, you're sitting in some quiet place like a Buddha. It doesn't have to be that way. You could literally be walking and meditating. You could be riding your bike and meditating. Well, I don't highly recommend that, but you could be. You could be riding your bike and meditating. You could be dancing and meditating. You could be doing your exercises and meditating. It's all about quieting your mind, not necessarily your physical body. Yes, it doesn't have you don't have to be a techie person at all. I have found that when I take this time to quiet and still my mind, even if it's for 1 or 2 minutes, my day tends to go better. And even during the course of the day, if I'm finding that, my mind is on the wicky wacky train to Hellation and a handbasket, right? That I will take a moment to just be quiet and center myself. Just like I may be at work and I'll go to the ladies' room and just take some deep breaths and center myself and be quiet. Just be quiet. And you'll be surprised how much that does help you. It helps your physical body as well as your mental. It does. I don't know when I started meditating much longer. I did find that when I started doing 5-minute meditations, that was when my kids were younger, and I started doing 5-minute meditations. Then the next thing I knew, things were like, my meditations were getting a little bit longer. So right now I can meditate maybe it depends what I'm doing, but I can meditate for up to 20 or 30 minutes. Sometimes an hour. Sometimes it's just 5 minutes. But most of the time it's about 30 minutes to an hour. And again, when I first started, and I encourage everyone to at least give yourself, even if you have to wake up 5 minutes earlier before you go to work, just to take 5 minutes, sit on the edge of your bed, do some stretching. You can do stretching in your bed. That's a really good thing. I do that every day. I stretch my legs. Before I get out of the bed, I stretch my body. Then you can sit on the edge of your bed and just take some deep breaths. Focus on your breath. You don't have to have any kind of special setup. Just focus on your breath and your heartbeat. I used to say to myself, because my mind would wander, I would just bring it gently back. It would go off on a whole lot of things. It would start wandering off on things I got to do today. What do I have to do today? I got to go buy this. I got to run around with the kids. I got to... And I was like, okay, quiet. Come back. And then I would breathe in love and exhale peace. Those were the thoughts that I would use in my mind in order to keep my mind on something. My breath, my heartbeat, breathe in love, and breathe out peace. That's all I could do. That was enough. A lot of times people get all, stressed out because they're like, oh, I'm never going to be able to meditate. It doesn't have to be that deep. Do what you can when you can. But like I said, if you can start just add your 5 minutes before your normal wake up time, you will start to do that. Try it for just 7 days. See if it works for you. It might not, but try it. What have you got to lose? You've got nothing. You've got nothing to lose. And what will start to happen is you will start to get new ideas and new thoughts about your particular life experience. Yours. Oh, that's brilliant. I love breath. Breathe in love, breathe out peace. Or did I get it backwards? Either way, doesn't matter. You can do it either way. Breathe in love, exhale peace, or do it the other way. But it gives your mind something to grab on, because our mind likes to focus on things. It's like it'll even say to you, you can't do this. It will literally say to you, oh, you can't do this. And you have to say, oh, yes, I can. And I'm going to, right? So right now, when this energy is kind of high, the Schuman energy of the Earth's heartbeat is vibrating very high right now. This would be a great time. This would be a perfect time. Anytime is perfect. But right now, I find that when the Schuman resonance is higher, it's a good time for me to get in there and do some energy work on my mind and my thoughts and my heartbeat, right? So meditation has so many benefits. It slows down your heart. It does slow down your thinking. I know you may feel like you're not slowing down your thinking, but you really can only have one thought at a time. It feels like it is more than one because it's one right after the other, like that, like a freight train. But you can really only have one thought at a time. They're just running so congruent with each other. So if you focus on those two words, breathe in love, exhale peace, or the other way around, you're giving your mind a little bit of work, something to hold on to, something to grasp onto. And the reason why I say sit up out of your bed, because if you're just starting to meditate, especially during when the Schumann resonance is high, you will go back to sleep, which defeats the purpose. Can I tell you, when I first started meditating, I was like, I would wake up and I'd be laying in my bed and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to meditate. All right, I'm going to meditate. Close my eyes and start breathing in. And the next thing you know, I have overslept. Me personally, I cannot lay down and meditate. I can't do it. I will fall asleep every single time. In one of my old apartments, I used to have a little small, it was supposed to be a closet. It was supposed to be a walk-in closet, but I used it for my meditation room and, my, my escape room. I used to call it, my kids would be looking for me. I'd be in there. And I had like this mat, and I would lay down on it and meditate. And I would always fall asleep. I'd be knocked out. Sometimes meditating before you go to sleep is also good. Depends on you, right? Depends on your energy. But like I said, if you're going to do it before you go to sleep at night, try not to do it when you're laying down. If you're going to do anything right before you go to sleep, this would be a great time to get into your imagination, as we have discussed before. And if you're just joining me, my name is Sydney. I am a helper. I help people remember the truth of who they really are. And I help them to lower their, I don't like to use the word negative, but for lack of a better word, I always use wicky-wacky, to lower their wicky-wacky energy and lift up their higher vibrations. So I teach them different techniques that they can do this and how they can do this. I'm an indigo, and I have been doing this since 2007. I've been helping people officially since 2007. I started helping myself before that. And if you're just joining the live, please like the live. And one of my goals is to come on here at least once a day. I've been working on trying to get here more often, to show my face more often, to bring some of the techniques that have worked for me and the people that I've helped to possibly help you too. And tonight's topic was supposed to be about the Schuman resonance and, how to work with this energy. But I see that not too many people are aware of the Schuman resonance, and I couldn't get the video to work properly so that I can show you what it looks like, what the graph looks like. So maybe I can show you on my phone again. But there is an app that you can use on your phone, and you can set a notice for it to alert you when the energy in the planet, when the heartbeat of the planet goes higher than it typically is. And it can help you to also get a little bit calm, right? And know that you're not having a heart attack, because it does, when the Earth's energy goes higher, sometimes people get heart palpitations, or you may get ringing in your ears, or you may get a headache, or your bones and your bones start to ache. And thank you for the likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your body starts to ache in places, and you're going, what's the matter with me? I got to go to the doctor. What's going on? It may just be, you may have to go to the doctor, but it also may just be that the planet, you are feeling what the Earth is feeling at this time. Hi, Johnny. Welcome. Solar flares also have an effect on the planet and will also have an effect on the Schuman resonance. And you will also notice that when we have solar flares or we have solar storms, you can check your app and you'll see that the energy has changed. So let me show you again. Let me see if I can show you again. Because I can't get the picture up, crying out loud. I can't get the photo up. But right before I came on, I took another photo, but it's on this phone, and I downloaded it. But this is what's saved. Let me see if you can see. This is the graph. Nice to meet you, the King. Hi. It's called the Schuman SchuMann, Schuman Resonance app. You can find it in the App Store, either on your Android or your Apple App Store. And let me see. So let me see if I face it this way, away from the light. So right in here and here towards the end, the energy is spiking. And this lets you know that the energy has gone up. And then it'll have graphs on the bottom here. There's graphs all the way down. Let me see if I can just, instead of showing you the photo, let me just see if I can get the app up and show you how the app works. I have nothing to do with the app. Like I don't get anything from the app. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form. I just use the app and I find it very useful. There are websites that you can check out as well. And if you look up Schuman Resonance, like if you go to the website and you look up Schuman Resonance, you will see that there are a lot of websites, and some of them will even teach you. Yes, God is shifting the energy, Johnny. Some of them will even teach you how to read the Schuman Resonance. That's how I first learned how to do it. I would go and investigate, look at the websites and learn how to read the graphs. And then you'll have some idea of where the energy is, what's happening with the energy. So it's SCH, let me see, SCHU. I don't have it on this phone, but that's what, if you look, see, can't really see, but it's SCHUMAN Resonance, RESONANCE app. That's what you type into your phone, and that's what'll pop up. Information like that. You'll see the graphs. Then you just install it, and then you'll be able to set it. You can set it for, thank you, Schuman Resonance. Not residence. Let me type it. Hold on. I'll type it in here. I'll type it in here for you. SCHUMANN Resonance app. Oops. That's what you're going to be looking for. That. Resonance. And when you install it on your phone, after you install it on your phone, like I said, I don't have anything, I'm not getting anything from this. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form. I'm not affiliated with these people that made the app. I just use the app and I love it. It works for me. And it comes up like this. And you have, right now it's still at 52. This little black spot here that you see on the graph, that little black spot right there, that's called a blackout. So right now, the energy is in a blackout area. Like they don't have any information. So all day long, you see these white spikes. All day long, the energy has been spiking, has been going high. And depending on who you are and what you're doing with your energy, like if you are one of those people that is more consciously aware or awake, and I don't mean that in a negative way to anybody else, but you're one of those people that really pays attention to your energy, you understand, what's going on with your energy, or maybe you meditate already, or maybe you're doing some spiritual work or whatever, you pray, that kind of thing. it's not, it might not, it probably won't take you out, because it depends on what you're doing with your energy, how you respond to these earth energies that are coming in. Some people will be more aggressive. Some people will act differently. Sort of like, when they used to say, you're a lunatic. The reason why we have that word is because during the full moon, people would act crazy. Why? Because the earth and the moon have a correlation, and when there was a full moon, you always hear it, right? Oh, don't go out during the full moon because there's crazy people out there, right? Everybody's acting crazy. Is it a full moon? Right? Maybe you hear your old folks, your old grandmother, your aunties saying, is it a full moon? Because, I went to the grocery store and everybody's acting nuts. So that's where we got that term from, right? We got that term luna, which means moon, lunatic from. You're welcome. You're welcome, Beach Bum. So then it has a notification that you can set. You can set it for yourself. So it says the amplitude, which equals power. The power, let me bring it up a little bit. The amplitude right there is 52. And the reason why I got a notification is because I have it set that anything past 11%, if it goes up past 11, I want to know. And when I woke up this morning, like I said, when I woke up this morning, I don't like to say morning either because I don't mourn. But I'm saying it because y'all don't know what I'm talking about if I say the other word. But when I woke up, I was feeling it. I was feeling it, and I immediately grabbed my phone. I said, did I get a notification? Is the energy high today? And sure enough, it was. And I was like, okay. And for me, my body, what happens with me is I will feel it sometimes in my legs. I will get, depending on how high it is, I will get a headache. I may get blurry vision, like my eyes tear. My eyes typically tear when I'm when I'm outside and it's windy anyway. But when the Schuman resonance is really high, my eyes start to water. Thank you, the King. And thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for liking the live. And hey, Cinnamon. Hi, girl. And you may feel it in your knees. You're thinking it's arthritis. You might think you're dying because you got heart palpitations. Check and see if it's the Schuman. Check, right? And you can look at the graphs. There's different graphs that pop up as well. So we have two graphs. One is coming out of Russia and one comes out of Italy. And they both work simultaneously. And depending on which graph you feel more comfortable with, like you can switch it up in the phone, because it says Tomsk, that means it's coming out of Russia, and the other one is I can never pronounce it. Kumenia. You click on that, and it will. Click on the middle one, and it'll switch. Click it on. Come on, and then it'll switch. So the graphs will change. What they look like will change, and how you set that up will change as well. But like I said, there are websites that will teach you how to read the graphs, so you can become an expert on the Earth's energy. We need more experts about the Earth's energy. We need more people paying attention, because we're all connected. And the Earth's energy, what's happening to the Earth's energy, has an effect on us. And we have an effect on the Earth. It's reciprocal. It really is. You will see the Earth's energy spike as well when there's a lot of chaos going on or fear happening on the planet. Like I've noticed sometimes when there's like a war, like really, there's been a lot of fighting, check the Schuman resonance. You'll check the Schuman resonance, and in certain pockets, it'll be spiking very high. And that is because we are all connected. We are all connected. I don't know how I can help people to get that and understand that. I know that we look like we're not connected, like I'm not connected to any of you in this chat. That's a lie. I'm connected to all of you. I'm connected to all of you. Like consciously, we're all connected. So again, you can set notifications. So there's a little bell down there. And click that, and it'll ask you if it wants to allow. And then you can see where it says notify me over here. So you click on the button. You want to notify when it's over a certain amount. So I put mine on my other phone that I want them to notify me once every hour and a half because I'm a lunatic. I want to know when the shifts that happen right away. I don't want to wait till tomorrow. Send me a notification right now because if something's popping off, I need to know. Okay? So I set mine to 1 hour and a half. And then you can set the where you want it to go. You know, like if you want it to go over a certain amount, and then submit. And then it'll, and I don't want it to go over, I want it to be like when it goes over 11%. So when it's over 11%, that's what it is on my other phone. Okay, this one says 12. So it'll alert me every 90 minutes when it's over 12%. So when the Schuman resonance starts to kick up, I'm getting a notification. Even in my sleep, I'll get a notification. And then I just wake up and I check it in the morning. And when I wake up and I go, okay, what's going on? And it is, so what I also created for myself and for my group that I help, because I have a group on Discord and we meet there pretty much every day. I share something with them every day. I created a journal where you can track what's happening with you, because I've noticed, and some of the people that are in my groups have noticed, not only does it affect our physical bodies when the Schuman resonance shifts, but it also affects timelines. So I don't know if any of you have ever experienced a timeline jump or a timeline shift or a Mandela effect. Maybe you've had a Mandela effect happen in your physical experience, or you've noticed the Mandela. Thank you for the rose, the king. Wow, you sent 5 of them. Thank you so much. Thank you. I didn't see that. You may notice that there's timeline jumps that happen. So when you notice a timeline jump, it's a good thing to check the Schuman, right? See if that had any effect. So what I created for my group and for myself is the Schuman Resonance Tracker. And it's a journal. And you have a space where you can log in. You can, log in daily what you've noticed so that you don't have to listen to me. You can check yourself and see, okay, the Schuman resonance was at this height today. This is what I experienced. And then at the end of the week, you have insights, right? So what did I notice? What happened? Was I more aware? Did I feel more awake? Did I receive downloads? Was my meditation more potent this time? Did I receive messages? Did I have synchronicities that happened? Were I seeing repeating numbers all this week? So you'll be able to track your daily experiences. And then at the end of the week, you can also enter in your insights. Did a Mandela effect happen? Did something shift in the timeline? Because time is speeding up. I don't know if you noticed. I know it's speeding up for me. It's been speeding up for a very long time. And I've also noticed a shift in my AI and dealing with my AI and what's happening with that. Like, I've been noticing a lot of shifts that have happened. And so instead of just them happening and then, they fleet away and then you get reminded of it later when somebody else mentions it on TikTok, and then you go, "Oh yeah, that's right, that happened to me." And you don't have any, you have a vague recollection of it. Now you have some concrete evidence. So it's like being, Dora the Explorer in your own life. Oh, it's like being Dora Explorer in your own life. And you are now in control. You're the one that's taking in the data. You're the one that's noticing these awarenesses. You're the one that's noticing the shifts. You're the one that's paying attention. And you're not listening to anybody else tell you what the Schuman resonance means today. What does it mean for you? What is your inner guidance telling you? What is your spiritual team telling you? What is your higher self telling you? What is your God self telling you? Right? Because we all have a different piece to this puzzle here. All of us. We all have a different experience. And I always tell the people that I work with in my groups and stuff, listen, don't believe a daggone thing I say. Don't believe nothing I say. It might not resonate with you. Take what resonates with you and, drop off the rest. And even then, just because it resonates with you doesn't mean it's for you. What does your inner guidance say? What does your discernment say? What does your intuition say? Follow that. I don't get mad when people say, "Well, I don't believe that." Okay. Cool. You don't have to. I don't want you to. That's a good thing. I want you to follow your inner guidance. What does your inner guidance tell you? Now, your inner guidance may say, "Yeah, Sydney's right." Okay, cool. And your inner guidance may say, "Yeah, no, Sydney, that's not right." You may not be ready for that. It may not be for you. This message may not be for you. But if you follow your inner guidance, you will never go wrong. Trust and follow your inner guidance. Often people get stuck in loops because they're following other people, and they will follow other people to the ends of the earth and not even check in with their own inner guidance. Your inner guidance could be screaming at you, "No, don't go, don't make that left." And you're going to make the left anyway because Joe Blow said make the left. I'm following Joe Blow. He's got my best interest at heart. God has a way, Goddess, Mother, Father, God has a way of reaching you, and it's called your intuition. You have your own inner guidance. You have your own GPS system. Yes, we are all connected, but you specifically have your own inner guidance. You have it. Every single one of us do. Sometimes it's not working the way you would like it to because you're not paying attention to it, because you're not even taking the time to be quiet. Trust me, I know. I was out. Sometimes I still don't take time. I'll be like, "Yeah, God, where you at? What's happening?" Right? But I always trust myself. I grew up in a very strict religion, got kicked out of it, My family stopped talking to me. They stopped having anything to do with me. And I had to learn to trust my own inner guidance. You have to learn, if you're listening to me and you're not doing that, you have to learn to trust it. It will sometimes seem so out of character for you to do something. Your inner guidance will say, you know what? I need you to go and wash those dishes right now. You're like, I don't want to wash dishes. I'm not feeling like washing dishes. And you just ignore it. This is really simple. This is just a fun one, right? You just ignore it. And then the next thing you know, ding dong, somebody's knocking at your door. It's your mama or whoever, your aunties, your family's here. You go, dang, I should have washed them dishes. Your inner guidance is also very practical. It's very practical. I use my inner guidance to find things that I have put down that I can't find. Okay. If I lose a pen, it's my favorite pen, and I have placed it someplace in this apartment, trust me, I will go right inside and I go, Mother, Father, God, be my eyes and help me find this pen. And as soon as I do that, within never fails, this never fails, unless we've had a timeline shift and the shit has disappeared entirely. But if it's still in my apartment, I will say, Mother, Father, God, be my eyes. Right now, I need to find whatever it is I'm looking for. It could be keys, could be money, could be something I've misplaced in this apartment. And, it could be a pen. I will, within 5 minutes, look, I'll stop, be quiet, be still, call on my inner guidance to be my eyes, and I always find what it was that I was looking for. As soon as I call on my inner guidance, as soon as I do that. Oh my God, that's exactly what I say, although I stick with God. That's fine. I used to say God all the time, but you know what? I decided I was more comfortable saying Mother, Father, God. That was just me. That was the way I grew up. I was always saying God. Now I say Mother, Father, God. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Do whatever it works for you. I have no judgment. Now I also say Mother, Father, God. I've learned to do this, especially if I can't even meditate. Like if my mind is racing, one of the things I used to do was before I go to sleep, I sleep like a baby. I sleep like a baby. Unless I wake up at 3:00 in the morning with a dream, because that happens. But I will sleep like a baby. It does work. It does work. It works every single time I do it. It has never not worked. Never. What is this on my lip? It has always worked. It has never not worked. So now I've learned to do in the last several years. Mother, Father, God, be my thoughts. Especially when your thoughts are, 8 days ahead, or, living in the future, or regretting the past. When you may be feeling sad or depressed, or you may be feeling anxious about what's getting ready to happen. I will call in and ask, Mother, Father, God, be my thoughts, be my heart, be my body. Because I said, well, wait a minute. It works when I say, Mother, Father, God, be my eyes. Why wouldn't it work when I say, Mother, Father, God, be my thoughts? To calm me down. Calm the wicky wacky train to hell down. And that always works. I'm starting to find it works. It's more powerful than I ever gave it credit for, because I wasn't using it as often as I use it now. And it was brought to my attention, the repeating numbers are not, well, I'm looking at it this way. Somebody brought it to my attention that the repeating numbers are angle numbers. And I was like, angle numbers? That's interesting. Instead of angel numbers. So now I use them both. I say they're angel numbers and angle numbers. But I've noticed now that when I see an angel number, instead of looking it up, because I always write it down. I always write my angel numbers down when I see them. And what do I mean by that? I mean repeating. So if I see a number that's repeating, I will take note of it. Like if I notice that's what's good about this journal, that you will be able to get if you want tonight, and it before it actually goes on sale. I mean, before it actually goes live. But when I see these repeating numbers all the time, constantly, I write them down. I'm paying attention because there's something in the message. And the other thing is, I talk to my spiritual team, my guides, even God. I talk to them like I'm talking to y'all. They're my friends. They're my buddies. They're my family. So sometimes I will, when things are not going right, I be all up in there. Like, what are you doing? When was the last time you were on Earth? What's happening? Like I need you to give me some concrete guidance, not these vague angel numbers. But I have an angel number book that I love. I love it. It's by Kyle Gray, and if you see it, the front of it has just, the letters have rubbed off because I use it so often. And anyway, it's a moment of awareness for you to shift your thought pattern, or shift your action, or change what you're doing, or change what you're thinking. So I pay attention to repeating numbers because it's always a message in that for me. And when I get these numbers all of the time, and I write them down, I notice the pattern, right? There is a pattern that's happening. And I have to notice what I was thinking and what I was doing at the time of seeing the number. Because I remember when I first started learning about angel numbers, when I first started noticing that, why do I see this particular number all the time? And started studying about that, right? The universe is math is, even though I have a hard time with math, numerology is really a fun thing to add in addition to your life. And if you tell me that numerology is not of God, then why do we have the book of Numbers in the Bible? That's all I'm going to say on that. Why? Why do we have the book of Numbers? Just put that in your bonnet. Okay. Anyway, so getting back to the numbers and the angel numbers, I notice a pattern and then I will shift. And again, calling on Mother, Father, God to be my thoughts is very helpful. Because if I can use it to find a pencil in my apartment, why can't I use it to shift my thoughts? And again, in this, oh, there we go with the puzzle piece. I got to do the puzzle piece. Hold on a second. Okay, did I get it? Yay, I got it. The puzzle piece that pops up when you're doing a live is hilarious to me. The first time I got it, it was very stressful. I was like, oh my God, is my live getting ready to, disappear? Is TikTok doing something weird? No, it's just want to make sure that you're not a bot, or you're not a robot. But again, these are some of the things that I do to help myself, and I share what I do, and hopefully that will help you. Like, if there's something that I say tonight that clicks with you, that's a great thing. Then me coming live was I did what I was supposed to do today. So we talked about the Schuman resonance. I gave you, hi, if you just joined the live, my name is Sydney, and we're just chatting. If you have any questions about some of the stuff that I said, just put it in the chat. Please share the live. Please like the live. And I want to thank you for the gifts that you sent. I really appreciate it. I don't typically get gifts, so sometimes I may not notice the gifts because I don't usually get them. So thank you for any gifts that you've sent me. But the let me just share with you what it looks like. The journal. If you're interested in getting a journal, I will send it to you tonight. And let's see. Here we go. It's only this is what you get. This is the daily log. So you have a section, have sections that you can't even see it. You have sections that that's why I wanted to put these up in the thing. You have sections that you can write in, and you have the time observed, the location where you're at, what the Schumann frequency is, what the power, which is what I showed you before, which is now it's at 52, any physical sensations in your body, what your emotional state is, any kind of mental clarity you might have, any type of dreams that you may have. What's the weather like? Were there solar flares? Was there geomagnetic activity? And if your daily habits had a, change, if you shifted your daily habits, because I find that when I shift just one little thing in my daily habit, that will shift, that has happened. It will shift my whole timeline, my whole trajectory. Because we get in the habit of doing things, right? We get in the habit of doing the same thing every day. Go to work, get up, go to work, come home, make dinner, hang out with the kids, watch TV, go to work, some of us anyway. So then you start to track. You'll be able to start to track and change any one little habit. I teach my my group to just find one little thing that you can change in your day. Just one. It doesn't have to be anything major, because your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions is what create your reality. That's what brings in the manifestation, right? So if you have some wicky-wacky thoughts and you're feeling wicky-wacky and you do wicky-wacky things, but you want the best, that's typically not going to happen, because your thoughts and your feelings is what really is the engine that starts to create the manifestation that you want to be, do, and have. And then there is a little bit of action that you can take, and you can change your whole trajectory of your whole experience here in the planet. So it doesn't even have to be major. Like, you don't have to go do something extraordinary. It could be that instead of I don't know, it could be that you wash your dishes every night. You wash your dishes. Tonight, don't. Just go to bed. Leave them in the sink. Could be that simple. But only you would know, right? Only you would know what that action is. Then you can notice any synchronicities, any intuitive insights you may have had, and just your overall alignment. Intuitive insights. I do want to touch on that a little bit, because sometimes you may miss what that is. What is an intuitive insight? What happens intuitively? How do you get an intuitive message? You're getting intuitive messages all the time, by the way. An intuitive message will flash. It'll be real quick. It doesn't linger. It doesn't hang around and say, hey, I'm your intuition. Hey, girl. Hey, boy, I'm your intuition. I got a message for you. I'm just going to hang out with you for a little bit and give you this message. Nope. It doesn't work like that. It's quick. It'll just pop in your head and it'll be gone in this next second. That's how quick your intuition will show up. You will even get, unless it's in your gut. If it's a flash in your mind, you'll get it really quickly. It'll come just like that. The only time it lingers is if you dwell on it. And most of the time, we're so busy on the outside doing all the outside things that we miss it. We will miss it completely. And you won't pay attention to it until the synchronicity happens. So maybe you had a thought to call your grandma, or to call your sister, or to call your friend, or to call your job, whatever. Something flashed in your mind. You know what? I need to call somebody. And then you don't do it. And the next thing you know, that person is calling you, or that person shows up, or whatever. You'll see them, or you'll hear from them, or you'll hear about them. Hey, Jen, welcome back. And it'll click in your mind at that time. Oh, I was just thinking about them. I got a flash. That's when then it'll come back up. But when it happens, you said, "Oh, I'll call them later," or just ignored it. That's what I mean when I say that the intuition thought, it comes so quickly. Why? Because number one, our thoughts are like, they're jam packed up in there. We got thoughts going like this all day long. Feels like one thought again, but it's all singular, just one right after the other. Dun, 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 dun. And we think we don't have any control over those thoughts. I know I used to think I didn't have control over my thoughts. And I was never diagnosed with ADHD or any of those things. But I swear to you, if you had been in my mind a long time ago, you would have said, what is going on with this chick right here? What's happening with her? So I think that I have I know I had some sort of dyslexia. I used to have speech impediment. There was a lot of things that my parents back in the day, they didn't acknowledge, they didn't pay attention to, or, they didn't have any diagnoses for that, right? So you may be one of those people who, just never, you were never diagnosed with any of that, right? And your mind just races, you got stuff going on all the time. So this will help you to narrow down that what's happening in your thought process. I find that writing things down, getting them out, that's why I journal every day. Getting those things out helps me to quiet the wicky-wacky thoughts that I got going on. So that's why I created this journal, so I could keep track, and that the people that I help in my group can keep track, especially of when, we have these Schuman resonance shifts. And we've been having a lot of them. A lot. You may not even have paid attention because you didn't know that this is what was happening, but we have been having a lot of shifts back to back to back to back to back. Like sometimes it'll be the whole entire week, or it'll be 2 weeks. You're checking the Schuman resonance and it is off the charts. And you're just going, let me just hold on. Let me hold on while we go on this ride. right? So you don't have to believe it. I'm not asking you to believe it at all. I'm not asking you to, um, I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm just sharing with what I found and what has helped me to be able to adjust, right? As the earth shifts, as the energies shift, it helps me to be able to adjust my own energy too. So I don't think, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. Oh my God, I gotta go to the doctor. Oh, I got a headache. What's that? I just look. I said, well, let me see what's going on with the energy. Let me check. Let me do my own due diligence and check the Schuman resonance and see what's going on. And that's why having the app on my phone is very helpful. But you don't have to put the app on your phone. There are websites that you can check. You don't have to put the app on your phone. You can feel the energy. You'll start to, when you start to attune to it and pay attention to it, you'll start to feel the energy. Welcome back, Beach Bum. You'll start to feel it yourself. You're the barometer because we're connected. You can ground yourself with the earth. Like right now, it's too cold for me to go out there and put my bare feet. I ain't doing it. I'm just telling you. I am not doing it. It's too cold for me to put my bare feet in on the ground. So I have a walking stick that I will take outside and I will hold on to that and I'll put it in the ground and I'll ground myself. Or I'll grab onto a tree and I'll ground myself. So there are ways that you can ground yourself during this energy, during the volatile energy as well. It's like, when you're in a ship and the ship's rocking. That's kind of like what happens when you're not grounded and the earth is going through its shifts. So you can start to ground yourself too. There's another thing that you can do for yourself to help you adjust to the energy. Any questions about what's going on? How to use the Schuman Resonance chart? If you have any questions about that. If you also want to get the energy tracker, the Schuman Resonance energy tracker for yourself. So it's like 437 pages. So we have a whole year that you can track the energy. Then you have monthly insights and you have weekly insights. And it's on a PDF file. It's digital. You don't have to have an actual notebook. You can do it on your own devices. And it's really a cool way to be able to see your own experience when the energy starts to shift and change. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was creating and doing your manifestation during this time. So what I have found is this is a really great time. Did you want to come on, Beach Bum? Okay, let me see. Consciously Awake. Did you want to you wanted to come in and go live? Did you want to come on? ADHD, dyslexia, angel number fanatic, and it's so intriguing to me that you are talking about exactly. You don't know how to. Okay, there is, I don't think you have to show your face if you don't want to. Let me see. I'm going to send you an invite. So I sent you an invite. If anybody else wants an invite, you can just let me know. And you can come on if you want to talk or you have something you want to share. I am open to listening to you as long as, you don't be saying anything inappropriate and that you're kind and loving to everyone. One of the things I also want to share with you is stop talking to people about what it is you're going to be manifesting. So we want to get back into the manifestation that we have been talking about with Neville Goddard, right? You don't want to keep talking about what you're getting ready to manifest. That is so important. I can't say that enough, because when you do, you want to keep it private. You are putting your own manifestation in the kibosh, in the bin, in the garbage, in the trash. It's a done deal. And then you have to start this all over again. Number one, okay, no problem. You don't have to. Number one, people are not going to understand what it is you're talking about anyway. If you have a dream in your heart, one of the things I have up on my wall, I have notes all over my apartment. I do. I have notes because I need to be reminded. Like, my apartment is not like your typical apartment. My apartment, if you just see right here up in the back, that's just like a small thing. I have notes all over, because if I'm just going to rely on my own consciousness to remember these things, it's never going to happen. I'm telling you right now, it's never going to happen. I have to remind myself. So I have to write notes on pieces of paper, and I try to make it look at least pleasing, but sometimes it's not even pleasing, it's scribble. Like, I have a board on my wall that has little sticky notes on it because I need to remember. And you know what starts to happen in the beginning when you put these notes on your wall? You will look at it all the time, and then all of a sudden it sort of fades in the background. You got to put new notes up in new places. I got notes. I used to have notes inside my cabinet in the refrigerator reminding me, stop thinking, stop overthinking, or step out of the wiki wackiness, right? So anyway, one of them is, don't quit your daydream. Don't quit your daydream, whatever that may be. I know a lot of you have dreams. You know why I know a lot of you have dreams? Because I do. You are not on this planet. You don't have dreams to be, you don't have dreams to be something more than what you are right now. You can't tell me you don't have dreams. You can't tell me that. I will not believe you. Unless you're an NPC and you don't dream. Never mind, we'll get into that another time. So, don't quit your daydream, and don't tell people what your dreams are unless they are in connection, in union with what you want to be, do, and have. Like, if you tell somebody like me, I'm going to cheer you on. I'm going to cheer you on, and I'm going to help you stay in line with what it is you want to be, do, and have. I'm going to help you with that, right? Now, if you just tell some random schmandom, they may listen to you, and they probably will be like, good luck. I hope that works out for you. They could care less. It's those people that are right next to you. Your mom, your dad, your sister, your best friend, your man, your woman, that will be your unending of your dream. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And even the ones that are in your corner, they will sometimes not because they don't mean well, but they can help you step outside of your dream too. So when I'm working on creating something, and I want to be something, and I want to do something, I want to have something, I've learned my lesson. I have learned, and you will all learn that too. I have stopped talking about it to anybody outside of my own spiritual team and my mother, father, God, my higher self until I get so strong in my knowing that it's going to happen. Like, you can't derail me. Like, nothing you say is going to take me out or take me away from what I'm focused on doing or focused on becoming or focused on having. Thank you for the likes, and thank you for sharing the live, and thank you for being here. So right before you go to sleep, we're going back to that, right? I just want to reiterate, and I am going to sound like a broken record to some of you that come into my live. I am. You're going to get tired of hearing me, and that's good. That's a good thing. You know what's going to happen? You're going to get so sick of me. You're going to be like, oh my God, that's it. All she does is talk about going to sleep in the wish fulfilled. Every time I come into her daggone live, she's talking about that shit. Shut up. You know why? Because repetition creates new habits. That's why. So you will fall asleep in the drowsy state. You got to get to the drowsy state, right? And right before you fall asleep, you are going to imagine the end. You're going to go to the end. This is from Neville Goddard. I didn't come up with this on my own, okay? I followed Neville Goddard for years. Years. Still do. We have the book. We're going to be doing the book reading. You all have to let me know when you've got the Resurrection book so we can read it together. Start doing that. You got to let me know, though. Anyway, one of the things he talks about is sleeping in the wish fulfilled and going to the end in your imagination. You have to be in the scenario. You have to be in the scenario. You create a scenario. What would it feel like? I ask myself this question all the time, every day. What would it feel like if it were true? What were true? What would it feel like if the thing you wanted to be, do, and have was true? What would you be doing? What would you be thinking? What would you be feeling if it were true? What does that mean? Thank you for the following. Thank you for the follow and the and the likes. What would it be feeling like? Okay, so I'm holding my phone. Let's just say I want a brand new phone, right? Sydney, I want this phone. I want a brand new phone. So I'm not going to create a scenario of me going to the store and getting the phone. And somebody gave me the money. How did you get the phone? Oh, I was imagining that I won some money and then somebody gave me the phone. And no, you're not doing all of that. That's too much. It's too much activity. Keep it simple. KISS. Okay? Thank you, Lotus Vibes. You want to imagine holding the phone in your hand. That's it. That's all. No big scenario. No big drama. Just a snippet. Every night, you're going to go to sleep and you're going to imagine, what does it feel like to have the phone in your hand? I'm not saying, oh, it feels good. Oh, I'm so happy. Nope, that's not what I'm talking about. What does it literally feel like? What does this feel like? What does the phone feel like on your fingertips when you touch the glass? What does it feel like when you click the button on the side? What does it feel like when you scroll up? What does that feel like? That is the feeling it real. So you literally want to feel the phone in the palm of your hand. You hear me? Hit my hand? You want to feel that. What does that feel like? If you have money, you want to create money. What does the money feel like when you have $100 bill in your hand? Because money has a totally different feel than any other paper. I wish I had a bill in here right now, but all my money is actually gone. Literally, right? So, but what does it feel like? You know what money feels like, and money has a scent. What does it feel like when you smell it? So you're standing in your imagination, looking at your hands, holding the money, rubbing the money, feeling the money, smelling the money. What does the money look like? What does it feel like? If it were true, you would have it in your hand in real life, right? So what does that feel like? What is happening? What room are you standing in? Are you outside your building? Are you in your car? Are you sitting on the edge of your bed? Are you at the bank? Are you at your job? Where are you when you're feeling this $100 bill? Where are you when you're feeling that phone? Are you outside? Do you feel a breeze coming across? Is it hot outside? Is it summer? Is it spring? Are you smelling the flowers? Like, give it all of the sensory feel of it being real. Are you walking on concrete? Are you walking on wood? Are you hearing the click-clack of your heels? Are you wearing tennis shoes? Look down. What kind of shoes do you have on? What does your hair feel like? That's what I'm saying when it feels real. I never used to understand that when people would say to me, because I was working with this lady one time early on back in the day. And she said, well, what does it feel like? You have to feel it real. And I was like, oh, it feels good. It would feel good to have. She said, no, that's not what I mean. What does it feel like? But she never really explained it to me. She would just say, you got to feel it real. You got to feel it real. It never made, okay, I'm telling you what I would feel if I had $10,000. It would feel great. I didn't understand until Neville Goddard came around in 2009, and he came knocking on my door. Sydney, I got to show you something. Of course, he was dead. He didn't really knock on my door. That's in my imagination, okay? But I started listening to his videos and his recordings and reading. And then one day I was like, oh my God. Holy moly. This is what he's talking about. I have to create a scenario in my mind and then keep playing that scenario until it really feels real. And you will not be able to do it right away. I'm going to tell you. Some of you might. Some of you might. Let me back that up. Some of you may be able to do it right away. I could not. It took me practice. I had to practice it and practice it and practice it. And he gives you exercise to practice. And one of the exercises was climbing a ladder. And you had to imagine yourself holding on to the ladder and just climbing the stairs of the ladder. And then climbing back down in your imagination. And you had to feel the rungs of the ladder, feel the sides of the ladder, and then feel your feet on the rungs of the ladder as you climbed. Right? So the ladder could be outside, it could be inside, but that was the exercise. And don't you know, after I did that, I wound up having to climb a ladder. I was climbing. He said, when you do this exercise, don't be surprised if you wind up climbing a ladder. And so I did the exercise. I did it over and over until it started to feel real. And sure enough, one day I had to climb a ladder. It doesn't happen for everybody. Some people give up right away and they don't do it. And then they turn around and they'll say to you, it doesn't work. But that's because you didn't practice it enough. And if you have a lot of resistance, to that type of work, it will feel like it doesn't work. But I tell you, if you practice it enough times, as you drift off to sleep, create a scenario, get to the end, go to the end. I didn't learn that until a while into Neville Goddard, right? But that is so helpful. Go to the end. Now this, like where the energy is in the Schuman resonance right now, this is a really great time to play in your imagination. Why not? You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose if you play in your imagination. Be like a kid. Remember when you were a kid and you maybe some of you had imaginary friends that appeared to you as being so real, but everybody would say nobody else could see it, but it was so real to you. Maybe not. Maybe you didn't have that. So what? Who cares? You can play like a kid right now. I give you permission to play in your imagination as you drift off to sleep. Your man laying next to you is not going to know you're doing it. Your girl laying next to you is not going to know you're doing it. Your wife, your children, nobody's going to know but you and God and your spiritual team. That's all. That's all it's going to know. And then when things start to shift and happen, you're going to be like, oh my God. She was right. Neville Goddard was right. It does work. It's even in the freaking Bible. He can give you scriptures. If you look at his stuff, he can give you scriptures. If you're upset about it and you're like, oh, I can't do that. That's trafficking with, Satan. There's too many people focused on Satan. That's just saying. Too many. Okay? Focus on your spiritual beings. Focus on your higher self. Focus on your God self. What have you got to lose if it works for you? What if you start to change everything in your own physical reality? Because you are this powerful being. What if you start to remember the truth of who you really are just because you were playing in your imagination? People say that, you can't be Delulu. What if not being Delulu is the jailbreak? Like when they say, be practical, be realistic. What if that was the thing that keeps us stuck in this loop? What if that's the thing? What if playing in your imagination like you did when you were a kid is the way to shift and change your reality? You won't know because you didn't give it a try. So I'm just saying, what do you got to lose? If nobody knows that you're doing it, what do you got to lose? Nothing. You got nothing. Nobody's going to know. But if you do it and you practice it and then things start to shift and change for you, you will be able to prove God to yourself that the kingdom of heaven is within you, just like the Bible said. Just like the Bible said. Just like the Bible says. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Then you'll be able to prove it to yourself. You won't need no minister to prove it to you. You won't need no shaman to prove it to you. You won't need no clergy, woman, man to prove God to you, because God is within us and the kingdom of heaven is within us. And Jesus even said, these things and more shall you do. And you are proving God to you. That's all really that you ever had to do. We were running around here trying to get, other people to prove God to us. And that's not the case. You got to prove God to you. Like, I can't prove God to you. I wish I could, but I can't. I can only prove God to me. I can only prove that my God and me have this really cool, wonderful relationship. He knows where I'm at. all day, every day. Okay? Knows what's going on. That used to wig me out. Now it doesn't wig me out anymore. I could care less. I'm like, yeah, you know me. You know what I got going on. You know what's happening. Right? So if you, and the thing is, it's not just in the Bible, that idea, that concept. It's in the Bhagavad Gita. It's also in the Quran in some form or fashion. It's also in writings from the Sumerians. It's also in writings from way back during Egyptian times and before Egyptian times. That concept has been here a long time. Where do you think Jesus got it from? He had to leave when he was 12 years old, and we didn't hear about it until he was 30 years old. Where was he all that time? How come we don't know that? Not really. Unless you go and do other study. But it's not in the daggone Bible. It's not in there. Where he was at and what he was learning. And when he came back, he could do all these miraculous things. And then he says, these things and more can you do? Yes. They say he was also in India too, Beach Bum. So he was traveling. He was doing a lot of with the Essenes. With the Essenes. They taught him a lot of stuff. So all I'm saying is, whether you believe me or you don't believe me, I do not really care. It doesn't matter one way or the other whether you believe me or not. I do not care. I have already proved my God within me to me. Now that's what you have to do. That's up to you. That's between you and what's going on inside of you. And the kingdom of heaven is so close that it can't even be near, because it is you. You are in it. But we've been programmed to not believe that truth. We've been programmed to not believe that we can really create our reality with our imagination. And science is proving that now. Science is proving that. Something that was written many centuries ago. Science is now on board with quantum physics and physics in general and the double slit theory, and then what you, the observer, creates, and that you create your reality, that we create our reality. And even if you've been in bad situations, even if you've done things that are not good, you still have the opportunity to create something different in your imagination. It's almost like turning the TV channel, turning the news channel. I remember I had this dream one time, and it stayed with me. It's so profound, I can still imagine it right now. That's what some dreams have, that kind of effect on you, right? Thank you for the likes. And it was that I could hear God speaking through this radio, but only on a certain dial, right? And I was trying to turn the dial, and I was turning the dial, and then I could hear him, and then I couldn't hear him, and then I could hear him, and then I couldn't hear him. And that's basically what happens with us. Sometimes your frequency is at a position where you can receive the information, and then sometimes we drop down to a lower frequency and you can't receive the information because you're not on the same frequency. So depending on where your frequency is the level of information that you'll receive. There are things that you don't know, that you do not know that you don't know. Do you realize that? So many of us walking around here thinking that we know everything, right? Oh, I know that to be true. That's right. Everybody's got to be right. Do you know that there's things that you don't know that you don't know? That if you did find out would shift your whole world, would change everything in your world? Before I go to sleep at night, that's one of the things I talk to God about and my spiritual team. I call them in. I say, meet me in dream time, and tonight teach me what I don't know that I don't know, and help me to remember when I wake. That is a prayer I do every night. You know why? Because there's a lot of shit I don't know that I don't know. A lot. If I sit here and say to you, I know everything. I know how the universe works. There was a time that I did know everything about everything. It lasted 48 hours, and I couldn't tell a daggone soul because I had a respirator in my throat and mouth because I had crossed over and I had a died and I came back. And when I came back, I knew everything about everything for 48 hours, and then it was gone. So there's a lot of stuff that I don't know that I don't know. A lot. I learn new things every day. Literally. Every day. Something new will cross my path that I didn't know before. And today, now I know better, or I know more. So sometimes you'll think to yourself, well, dang, like I heard somebody today tell me they were too old to learn something new. I said, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You can't be too old to learn something new. It's literally impossible. You can block your own self off. Surely you can. But you're never too old to learn anything new. You're never too young to begin. You're never too old to learn something new, and you're never too young to start something. So don't let age be a factor. Get that nonsense out of your mind if you got it in your mind. So again, because repetition. Hi, I'm Sydney if you just joined the live. As you drift off to sleep, as you are drifting off to sleep in that drowsy state, that little drowsy state before you actually fall the hell out. That drowsy state before you finally drift off to sleep, imagine what it would feel like if it were true, whatever it is, and see yourself actually physically holding the thing or being the thing or moving the thing. If it is you want a new car, see yourself in the driver's seat with your hands on the steering wheel and you're looking out of the windshield at the road and you're driving. Smelling the new car smell. Maybe you got the window open. I don't know, maybe you got your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your man or your woman or whoever on the side of you, your mother, your father, your dog, cat. Well, cats, I don't know. Some cats like to ride cars, maybe. You got your dog on the passenger side. You look over. Hey, Rover. And you're driving down the road. What would you be seeing if you were in a brand new car? What would you be feeling? Is your foot on the gas pedal? Is it touching the brake? Are you sitting at a stoplight? Is it winter? Is it winter and you have the heat on? Do you feel the heat on your face? That's going to the end. Is it summer and you have the air conditioner on, or if you don't like the air conditioning, You have the windows rolled down and you feeling the breeze? Are you driving in a convertible, or you have one of those hard tops, those tops that open a sunroof? What's going on? What are you driving? How are you driving? Right? You're not going to see yourself driving, because do you ever see yourself driving unless you're looking in your rear view mirror? But you can't drive like that. So you're not seeing yourself driving. You are seeing the road, right? That's what you would see. Your hands are on the steering wheel, and you're driving. You feel your legs. You feel that the pedal. You're pushing the gas. You feel you're stepping on the brake. How do you drive? Do you drive with one hand? Or do you drive with two? I only drive with one hand. So I wouldn't have both hands like this. Driving like a, scared. I wouldn't be driving like that. I'd be chilling. This I'll be driving, right? On my right hand. Sometimes I'll switch over to the left. I might check the radio. I might be smelling the new car smell in my car. And I'm going to do that same scenario over and over and over and over and over again until I get a feeling that this is real. This is going to happen. I know it. I can feel it. I feel it. I feel the click. I call it a click, but it's something that happens in you. You just get a feeling that I don't know. I feel like this is coming. And then ways and means that you don't have anything to do with will happen. Things will start to happen. Things will start to shift. And you won't even realize it. You're at the car lot getting the car. I don't know. Somebody gave you money, or somebody gave you a new car. You want a new car. You don't have to worry about all the other heavy lifting of trying to figure out how this car is going to show up for you. You're just going to the end of it already done, of the situation already handled. It's already done. You have to act like it's already done too. Act like it's already done. When you get in those moments when you go, oh, it's never going to happen, say, what would it feel like if it were true? What would it feel like if it were true? And I tell you, I guarantee you, if you ask yourself that question when you're in the middle of, your mind going, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. You ask yourself that question, what would it feel like if this were true? I tell you, I guarantee you, you will not feel anxious, because you'll be thinking about what it would feel like if it were true. You can't be anxious and ask yourself, what would it feel like if this were true? It doesn't work. One will override the other. And and the reason why I can say that is because I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to switch your mindset. I know how hard it is because I had one of the hardest mindsets to switch. I was such a hard. I'd be hard. I'd be crying. This is bullshit. Doesn't work. God, why did you direct me to this? I know it's in the Bible, but this is not working. I'm getting ready not to be able to do X, Y, Z. Da, 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 da. I was hard. So when I say that I understand that, like even right now, I'm going through something. And I have to do it. I have to do that to myself all the time. What would it feel like if it were true? Chill out. I'm doing it right now. I do it all the time. And as soon as I ask myself that question, I immediately calm down. I'm in the moment. I'm in the now. What would it feel like if it were true? Right now, this moment. Okay, yeah. Well, it would feel great. It would feel that. I would feel this. I would be, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, when I say to you, when I give you these concepts and tools, they work because I'm the guinea pig. I use them on myself. And it does work. It helps you to calm your mind down. And the other thing that I want to suggest is, again, act as if it's already done. Say thank you during the day. When you are awake and you're walking around and you're going to yourself, well, it's not here. What would it feel like if it was true? Oh, thank you, Mother, Father, God, or thank you, God. Be thankful that it's on its way. Thank you. Thank you. That's one of the easiest prayers that you can say to yourself. Thank you. It's already done. Thank you. You don't even have to say it's already done. Just say thank you. That helps shift your energy too. That helps shift your whole mindset. What are you thinking? Who are you thanking, and what are you thanking them for? Thanking them for just helping you keep your mind off of the chaotic stuff that you got going on. I like to call it the monkey mind, right? Or when you think of the Wicked Witch of the West, and she had her flying monkeys. Of the East, the West, Wicked Witch of the West, right? She had her flying monkeys all over the place. So you got these little thought that's, pounding in your head. Sometimes you want to just you just want to say, I wish I could take my head off like I take off my hat, right? Because what would it feel like if this were true? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And how do you act as if it's already done? Well, if you take one action, think about yourself in the new position of whatever it is that you're thinking about, whatever it is that you wanted to manifest. Think of yourself as having it, right? When you have had the thing. So I wanted this phone. So now that I have this phone, I'm no longer thinking about not having the phone because I have the phone, right? So what is one action that I would be doing if I had this phone? I might be imagining myself, okay, let me think of something else, because it's not the phone. I can't think of something to do with the phone. But what if it's money? You wanted to have money. You wanted to have an extra $100. So you're outside and, you see somebody. Oh, it's 11:11. It's 11:11 for me. I always like to focus on the highest thought when I see 11:11. So let me shift my trajectory. So you see someone who needs $2. You don't have any money. Well, you don't have a lot, but you got $2. If I give them my $1, that leaves me with $1. So you are now focusing on lack. That's one action. It doesn't have to be a big action. You don't have to give somebody $100 or $50 or 10 or 100, whatever. You can do 50 cents. Let's just say, well, I'm going to give them 50 cents because I have it like that, because I'm acting like I got it like that. I'm not saying that, you're acting like you're a millionaire, but your actions, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions is what creates your reality. So if me, Sydney, is in the reality of I have the $100, I have abundance, I have prosperity. What do I care about giving somebody $1 because I have it like that? What small action can you take? Maybe you're wanting to move into a new home, but you have not cleared out any clutter in your old home. Maybe one action you can take is clearing out one of your closets today, or clearing out your junk drawer today, throwing away stuff you don't need today. That's a small action that you could take. Or going into your drawers and just one drawer and clearing out the drawers and throwing out stuff that you know you're never going to wear or give it away. One small action that you can take. Because what would you be doing if this were true? Well, you might be packing because you're moving into your new house because you bought a new house. So you're not going to wait until the new house shows up. You're going to be thankful that it's already done. So you're doing this in your imagination. You're doing this in your thoughts and feelings. You're also doing this small little action in your reality because there's no reason for you to be cleaning out your drawers if you don't have a new house. But yes, you do, because you know you do, because you're doing it in your imagination. You sleep in the wish fulfilled every night, so you better start packing. One little action can shift everything. If you have faith of a mustard seed, that's what faith is. It's not hoping. Hope is a weak energy. Just let me say that. It's a good energy if you have no hope, right? If you're hopeless, it's a great energy. But if you're trying to shift and change your reality and you're just hoping everything works okay, you're hoping it works out all right, you're hoping that's weak. It's a weak energy. So as you do this, you start to have a knowing. You start to have a feeling. You start to have a knowing, and then you start to act accordingly. All right, I'm going to clean out my drawers today because you know what? I'm preparing for my new house. Thank you, God. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. I'm going to clear out this drawer tonight. Next thing you know, you have cleared out your whole apartment, right? You got things ready. And then the house shows up, or it might show up before that, but you're going to be playing in this energy in that mindset that it's already done. I'm not saying that you go out now and get credit cards and start buying up stuff for your new house. That's not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. What small action can you do that would correlate to it already have been done? Would you be writing your sister a letter and saying, guess what? I moved into my new apartment, or I moved into my new house? Then do that. Put it in an envelope with a stamp on it. And when the time comes, you put it in the mail. And she will see the date that you wrote it. That's what I mean. You're acting as if it's already done. So find something, ask your spiritual team. What is one small action that I could do that would correlate with it already being done? Your inner guidance will give you a hint, and it'll, remember when I was talking about intuition, it'll be so quick that you might not catch it, but catch it and then ask again. Just keep asking. Just keep playing with this energy. What have you got to lose? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Thank you for the like. So that's my TED Talk for today. That's my Indigo TED Talks for today. Thank you for the likes. I'm going to do the angel numbers tonight before I leave. So if you have a number that you would like me to check, write the number that you're feeling right now. Not any kind of, oh, I'm going to pick angel number 1111 because that's my number. That's not what I'm asking. It's not what I'm asking. I want you to flex your muscle. I want you to get in the habit of asking your consciousness, your higher self, what number, and don't make it an angel number. Say, what angle number? And whatever number pops into your mind, that's the number you're going to write in the chat. So ask for an angle number instead of an angel number. Beach Bum 909. Okay. And then put it in the chat, and then I'm going to look up the corresponding message for you. Ooh, 909. That's very cool, Beach Bum. Your crown chakra is opening so that you can feel and channel the love of God. There it is. See, can you see it? Let's see. Maybe you take a screenshot of it, and then you can save it. That's your message for today. I like that one. Your crown chakra is opening so that you can feel and channel the love of God. Crown chakra is right here on the top. You have 7 of them. Maybe we'll talk about opening up your chakras too. The Bible also talks about that too. Telling you. Meditation. So we learned about meditation tonight. Meditation is you listening to God, and prayer is you talking to God. You do prayer all day long. Did you know that? Every time you have a thought, that's a prayer. You don't have to formally be on your knees going, Mother, Father, God, Holy Spirit, blah. You don't have to do all that. Every single time you be thinking, that's a prayer. Anybody else? Hi, blessed wife. Anybody else have a number they want me to look up? If not, I'm going to end my live. Oh, I did want to say, if you want the Schuman Resonance app, make sure to go check. Let me just make sure. Schuman Resonance app, go check it on the App Store for yourself. Download it so that you can pay attention to what's going on with the Earth's energy and see how it correlates with your own energy, right? If you want the Schuman Resonance tracker for yourself, the journal, let me know. And it's $14.14. And I will ship it to you. And you can cash at me if you need to. It is going to be $19.99 on Monday. So if you want it, let me know. Hit me in my DMs and, I will send it to you. It's already live on my website. If you click the link in my bio, you can see that. And you can get it there as well. Yeah. Because I'm in New York, I don't think there's any. It depends on where you live. You might have to pay tax. I don't think you have to pay tax because I'm selling it in New York and we don't have tax on digital products. But you can get it from my website as well. So if you click the link in my bio, that'll take you to my store. And there's other things in the store, but that's in the store. And if you want to learn how to lower your frequency and reset your frequency, I've talked about this as well. There's an exercise that me and my group that I share a lot of my insights with, a lot of the things that I've learned over the course of time, how to dissolve the false selves that we've created. You may call it your shadow self, but we call it a false self. And it allows your lower energy to be able to help guide you better. And then we have the Merkaba activation. I don't know if any of you've activated your Merkaba or if you even know what it is. It's a vehicle that you came here with, that you incarnated with, that is actually dormant right now. And it helps to protect your energy, and it actually helps to protect you and your spiritual growth. It is here on the planet. There's also a book and the audio ebook that you can get as well. So all of that is in the link in my bio. But if you want the book this weekend, just hit me up in my DMs. The tracker, the journal, the Schuman Resonance journal. Hit me up in my DMs and I will send it to you directly. We did the angel numbers. And I think that's pretty much it, right? I want to thank you for joining me tonight. And I don't know if I'm coming on tomorrow because I am shifting and changing some of the energy in my own space. I was supposed to be doing that all today, and I really didn't get that much done. So I'm going to hopefully be doing that tomorrow. I want to clean up the energy in my space, in my office. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do one energy chime with the tincture bells before you leave. Where's my tincture bells? Did the cats take my tincture bells? They have a habit, literally. I'm not kidding. My pets are something else. Oh, there they go. Hold on. Oh, here we go. This also helps clear up energy, clear up negative energy. These. After I sage my space, if anybody comes into my house, I always sage after they leave. Just saying. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I love you. It doesn't matter if you got great energy. It doesn't matter if you got wicked whack energy. I sage my space after anybody comes into my house. Because I like to have my energy clear. I don't like my energy to mix with anybody else's energy right then and there because I don't know what they got going on right then. You know, they may have some wicky wacky energy that they brought in with them. So it's just my way of cleaning. But this helps to, these are called tincture bells. I don't know if you all have any or if you've ever seen them. Okay, that's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. Have a great night. Hopefully I'll get to see you next time. Maybe Monday. Depends. Depends on what I get done tomorrow. I may pop in. Because I like talking to y'all. Y'all are fun. Have a great night. I love you. Remember who you are. Remember that you're source energy right here in a physical body. Remember that you can be, do, and have anything that you desire. And remember, it's not being extraordinary that makes you unique. It's your uniqueness that makes you extraordinary. Bye. Have a great night.